News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks. And that's a closing bell on Wall Street. The Dow lost 330 points today, down 0.7%. The S&P down 23 points, about 0.4. And despite a ton of positive tech news today, the Nasdaq fell 7 points, losing 0.03%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.37%. The 2-year Treasury yield at 3.95%. Shares of Figma are officially trading, opening at $85 a share today and just closed at $115.15 a share, way above its initial public offering price of $33 per share. Bloomberg's Caroline Hyde on the company's explosive first day of trading.
The retail investment enthusiasm, the institutional investor enthusiasm has been phenomenal. This was 40 times oversubscribed IPO. People wanted in that much. And remember, they actually went out there and sort of auctioned this on the roadshow, trying to get a better price discovery than perhaps we've seen for Circle or for CoreWeave. But the pop has still been more than tripling of that $33 price.
The software company is considered one of the year's most anticipated U.S. IPOs, despite its failed sale to Adobe back in 2023. Figma is used to design web and mobile application interfaces. Amazon shares down 2.6% now in post-market trading, despite its latest earning reports showing that net sales for its second quarter beat analyst estimates. They were up 13% from this time last year. Apple set to release its earnings shortly. Shares down 0.7% in post-market trading. Shares of Microsoft soared 4% today, officially becoming the second company in the world to reach a $4 trillion market valuation after its quarterly earnings beat Wall Street expectations. Bloomberg Intelligence tech analyst Anurag Rana credits its AI strategy.
They invested early in OpenAI, and a lot of that is flowing through the bottom line of the cloud results at this point. And, very few times, I don't think I can remember ever a $75 billion business growing 30% above and the growth rate going up.
That's Bloomberg Intelligence tech analyst Anurag Rana. Microsoft, the second company to be valued at $4 trillion. Nvidia was the first to hit the milestone earlier this month. Dan Ives is global head of tech research at Wedbush Securities.
I believe Microsoft and Nvidia will be $5 trillion market caps in 2026. We are just starting this next stage of the AI revolution.
That's Dan Ives with Wedbush Securities, and he did mention Meta there. It is also seizing on investment opportunities in AI. The company says it's stepping up spending next year with plans to build new data centers and lure top AI researchers. Shares of Meta rose 11% today. President Trump is set to sign an executive order to set tariffs before his midnight deadline. It comes after he gave Mexico a reprieve today, extending trade negotiations another 90 days. He posted about the call with Mexico's president on Truth Social, saying this deal is a little more complex because of problems and assets at the southern border. So for now, Mexico will continue its current deal to pay 25% tariffs on fentanyl and cars and 50% on steel, aluminum, and copper. The announcement coming as other countries scramble to make their own deals by tomorrow. Here's Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is still set to meet with South Korea's finance minister later today, so perhaps we'll be able to glean out a few more of those details when it comes to that agreement that was announced, because while we know there's going to be this 15% lower rate also extended to autos, we still need to see the bigger picture here when it comes to those investment commitments of $350 billion, $100 billion investment for U.S. LNG imports, how exactly all of this is going to work, since it was considered to be essential in ultimately clinching that lower tariff rate.
That's Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall. But with hours to go before the deadline, we still don't know key details on how to keep goods flowing, including whether any new levies would apply to merchandise already in transit and how some of Trump's recent deals will be implemented. Without formal notifications, analysts tell Bloomberg new rates and enforcement cannot be implemented. Meantime, an ultimatum for the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies. President Trump sent letters to 17 of the world's biggest drug makers today, including Pfizer, Eli Lilly, and Novo Nordisk, demanding that they slash U.S. prices to the same amount paid by other countries. He's giving them 60 days to comply. Boeing has resumed contract talks now with union leaders representing more than 3,000 factory workers in the St. Louis area. Members there resoundingly rejected its initial offer and voted to strike. Collective bargaining on both sides now in a cooling off period ahead of a potential strike that could cripple Boeing's military aircraft production. And governors in New York and New Jersey have now both issued states of emergency as millions of people up and down the East Coast brace for severe thunderstorms and significant flooding. Forecasters say these storms could bring 2 inches of rain per hour, with some areas in Maryland, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania getting as much as 8 inches of rain by later tonight. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks, and this is Bloomberg.